Good morning and welcome. I first want to apologize to Grace, my show producer, who's been waiting all this time for me to show up. And I do apologize. Also, want to apologize to my listeners that come here regularly and call me. I want to give you a warm welcome to this live stream. This is the show called Fight CPS with Bob Pace, and it's working beautiful this morning. Last on Sunday, it was very strange because when I first came on in my morning show, I had both Fight CPS with Bob Pace and both spots. So I picked the bottom one, thinking that the top one would change. When I got into the room, it was the right one, Fighting CPS with Bob Pace. But then the top one, when I did later that night, still said Fight with CPS with Bob Pace. So I picked the one that said that, and lo and behold, I'm in the room with the right one. So I want to welcome Michelle Renee Naismith. Welcome, Michelle. This is a live stream with Bob Pace, and we are heard all over the world because this is a worldwide podcast, or live stream, worldwide live stream. Now, for many of you, if you're first time, there are a lot of things that you need to know. One, I will help you. I will fight for your case. I'll talk to you and help you with any way human I can. Now, I'm not an attorney. I'm a loving father and a husband, and I really appreciate all your support and helping one another. Now, this room is an interactive live stream. Now, I'm on every night of the week at 7 p.m. And then in the morning, during the weekdays, it's 10 a.m. And on the weekend, it's 8 a.m. Those times are all Pacific Standard Time, with the west coast of California, where I'm broadcasting this, a place called Surf City, USA. Now, many of you are really troubled or met some bad CPS people out there. We've already have someone that texted a message. I want to thank you there. There's a format we like to show for texts and messages. Either make a comment or a question, and it should pertain to CPS. Please state your first name, your city or county, your state, and if you're outside the United States, your country. Now, I have over 23 countries, and one of them is the United States. They start at Indonesia to Bangladesh to India, up to Middle East to Saudi Arabia to Libya, over to Africa to Liberia, to Sudan, to the Republic of Congo, to Rwanda, to Mozambique, and then to South Africa. Then up to Europe, it's England, Scotland, and Wales, and also Denmark and Sweden. Across the pond to North America, it's Canada and the United States, and all states I've had someone from them, including Washington, D.C. South of the border, Mexico, and then in South America, north of Brazil, on the East Coast, a country called Grenada. Then across the South Pacific, I've had New Zealand, and the land down under, Australia. Now, what I mean by people, these people, whether in the U.S. or around the world, have trouble with CPS. CPS is corrupt everywhere. It's corrupt in Canada. It's corrupt in Africa. I have people that call on a regular basis. It's long distance from Africa. They'll talk for an hour. And that's a lot of rands. But her name is Laika, and she's a very loving woman. But she had an awful case. People are drawn to the word Fight CPS with Bob Pace. Now, CPS, I call, stands for the Child Protection System. Every state and every county has one. So every county in all the states has a government entity. This was created in 1962 by Congress that mandated that social services protect our children from neglect and abuse by forming a group of social workers and create this program that we have today. It had a hard start because the laws were not out until 1974, and then there's been some changes over the years. One important change was the ICWA 1978. It's the Indian Child Welfare Act, where then the children of Indian families, if they were Indian, were able, CPS has to turn them over to the reservations to be raised by Indian families. It's sad how the Native American Indians been in the United States. They're our first immigrants. We owe a lot to them. But over the years, there's been a lot of abuse. Then in 1875, the Indians were forced to go on a reservation. Their children were rounded up for over 100 years, put into private schools, and they would never see their families again. Their hair was cut, the language they cannot speak, the language they could not practice their ways or eat their food or all those things. It was a severe, cruel punishment to these people. And they grew up not knowing their mom and dad or the Indian way of life. We were trying to eliminate them. Now, President Grant, who's a Civil War hero, as president, he tried to help out, but there's corrupt people, and one of them was George Armstrong Custer. He's a great battle tactician during the Civil War. But then he got sent to the West, and that's where they hunted the Indians, and they would kill them and hit villages that had no braves in there and kill old women and innocent children when they're running from them. There was no attempt. And they had power, much power. They had the Hausers, the Gatling gun. These were automatic weapons. The Indians, all they had was bows and arrows and the few rifles that they would capture. But their children were really bad. They were treated so bad by CPS. Anyway, I'm here to help you with your questions. And please tell me about your CPA case from the beginning to where you're at. Now, to be a guest on my live stream, all you have to do is email our show producer, Grace at vincentwdavis.com, with the day and time you want to be on our show. Now, our show, I try to make it different every show, but I do talk about similar things. I have 5 rules that I talk about that I wish I had known because I am a victim of CPS too, just like you all. In fact, over 1,900 people plus are all victims of CPS. And they have something in common. We all did. We're low income. You see, when you're low income, CPS has a way to take advantage of the situation because they know you can't afford an attorney. You won't get an attorney. And they're going to do stupid things and make promises they don't keep. They're going to retaliate. It's a miserable, miserable, miserable experience. So I'm here to help you. I'm here to answer your questions, to talk about things that you may not know or how to fight your case. People have come in here and gone on to get their children back. Last week, we had medical trafficking. That's where the parents, after talking to their pediatrician of their 4-year-old child, was complaining of stomach pains. Well, the pediatrician said to the parents, you need to take them to the emergency room at the hospital. So they did. But the emergency room at the hospital, all they did was sonogram. They did not do an x-ray. Also, I guess they did not know what the symptoms were. They thought it was appendicitis. Well, the pain was coming from her left groin area, left side of the groin area, not the right side. That's where your appendix is located. And if they'd done an x-ray, they would have seen she's got gallbladder stones. But anyway, the parents were discouraged because they thought, is there some alternative method than removing the appendix? They wanted to keep the appendix because of the immunity factor that it does. But the doctor recommended appendicitis. Well, the parents said, I want a second opinion. So they went to a second hospital. That hospital has a CPS worker who's like a vulture that sits there and tries to prey on easy prey. People that don't know about CPS and people that are easily intimidated or low income. So at this second thing, the parents still weren't quite sure. But a social worker stepped in and said, if you do not get the appendix removed, we're going to take your child away from you for medical neglect. That's a cruel thing to say. So, and when is a social worker a doctor? So they went ahead and had the appendix removed. But when the child came home, still complaining of the same symptoms. So they took her into the third hospital. And they did an x-ray and they found out that she had gallstones in her gallbladder that were causing her big pain. Somehow, the first doctor in the second hospital, the first hospital, the second one, did not do it right, and the social worker's insistence made the child suffer all the surgery and lose her appendicitis. So when they found it, they gave her special medicine, and hopefully the gallstones will pass out. This is all happening within a week. And I tried to get Vincent Davis aboard, but the time was too precious. So I asked them to ask the court for continuance. I said for a 30 or 60-day continuance. All the judge would do is 1 day, which is better than nothing. So they got the continuance and they got an attorney because I helped them get an attorney. So on Friday, they showed up in court. This all happened the week before last. So they show up with a good attorney, and the judge's face dropped because they thought they'd only have a court-appointed attorney. So the judge then had to change his MO, and the child can stay with the parents. They're going to have another hearing, but it's on the way out. So because they got that attorney, they're now able to keep their child. Things will get better. They'll get back to me. I'll hear how it does. But that's one of the ways I help people in here. One of the ways. Now, when you're a guest on my live stream, all you have to do is tell Grace, my show producer, vincentwdavis.com, and she will send you a link to StreamYard. Okay, I have some other people here and glad to see them. They came in here unbeknownst to me. Wow. Hey, we had Michelle Renee Nesmith that we said hello. We don't know where she's from. We have Kingman from Kingman, Arizona. Good mommy. Well, they're not from Arizona. I recognize the name. You're very welcome. It makes a lot to know I have your support. Thanks for being here. Well, I am here. I forgot. Where are you from, Kingman? Good mommy. David and Samantha Bernard. You've been in here too. Samantha, I had an open case in one county, had a baby in a different county. There's no transfer documents, and there are never a transfer in a hearing. David and Samantha Burden are from San Luis Obispo County, from Nipomo. That's in California. I had an open case in Kern County, had a baby in Santa Barbara County. There was never a transfer hearing or a transfer documents can file paperwork in Santa Barbara County to avoid Kern County's orders, since Santa Barbara would have the original jurisdiction. That is true. Kingman, okay, so this is my question. I need to find a way to put my stuff nationwide news for my baby case, Marina Rivera. My name is Jessica Rivera. I'm going to appeal in Arizona. I'm going to get DCS. Kitty Cade. Okay. I thought you weren't in Arizona. I thought that was your name. But anyway, worker Kitty Kincaid, Amanis Ranko, Aaron Demek away from my two. They targeted me. I got shot in front of my house last year in the neck, and I graduated from CPS 3 weeks. Oh, wow. Wish you luck, Cruel. Cruel has a court to date. It's called her eviction hearing. They're trying to, her family, her brother's trying to take her house away from her. It's actually her mother's house, but they're trying to evict Cruel. They're trying to evict her. The only place she can leave and bring her babies back. Now, we still got another 30 minutes of this live stream because I'm going to let it go there. So, okay. Okay. Okay, Cruel says, I plan on asking the judge to either continue my case as I haven't found proper representation or simply explain my brother issued me the wrong notice. Well, I don't know if you've already asked for a continuance. So you may not be able to get continuance. Now, if your brother gave you the wrong notice, you need to show the notice that your brother gave you and the correct notice so they compare it. I hear the incorrect notice is ground to throw the eviction, but Barry will just short the process all over again the right way and still win. Today is the first ever hearing. Court for Justice. My dad is an FBI officer, engineer in Maricopa County and Kingman in Arizona. Okay, so Your case is in Kingman, Arizona. Okay. Kingman, Arizona. Okay. And you are a good mommy. That is a good name there. Now, when you send Grace your days, one of my 14 shows, my Sunday evening show, Friday morning show, etc., she'll send you a link, and the link you paste in to your browser, and they'll get you to the application called StreamYard, and they will you can be able to talk on the show as my guest. There are also certain rules you got to be careful about. No profanity, no using of names of children, social workers, or judges, and no eating or smoking on the show. Now, David and Samantha Bernard say, I have new information like conflict of interest and fraud upon the court, but the judge denied a 3-8 motion to vacate or set aside papers because they terminated my parental rights me, and the open time frame is over. The judge still approved my motion. Well, if your terminated rights are done, I mean, you have to file appeal sometimes within 15 days or 30 days of your notice. Now, a 3-8 motion is a motion that's used to notify the judge that you want to bring to the court some new information. So you file a 3-8. Within 30 days, he has to set up a hearing for you to show him what is new or what has changed. That's the purpose of a 388. But whatever you do, as Cruel is right, file your appeal regardless. I agree with you, Cruel. Don't wait. You need to file right away. You need to file right away. Um, this is a hard thing you're going through there, David and Samantha Bernard. That's wrong how they're doing what they're doing. Now, the last thing I have is my phone number. And I'll put my phone number up. And you can call into this show. It's a phone number. Okay. Oh, boy. I think, David, what I'm trying to find out there. Now, I think you got the spelling wrong of mandorandums. Mandamus. I don't think that's the correct spelling. Let me look it up here. MUS. I think you forgot the AMUS. 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 There, we forgot the A, yeah. Now, Amanda must refers to judicial remedy that requires a government official or an entity to perform an act that they're legally required to do as part of their official's duties. In the content of child protection services, mandamus can be used to seek legal action against CPS actions or decisions that violate the rights of parents or children. For example, a mandamus lawsuit can be filed to challenge a CPS decision that affects the rights of parents or child, ensuring that CPS act within its legal um, obligations. Now, can CPS actually, well, okay, so that's when you want to take David and Samantha had to file that. Now, Kingman, Arizona, talked about getting shot. That's terrible what they were doing to there. Colina Cole, maybe. Why is it I'm not even on the case yet? But my mom said they told her I'm not allowed at her home. Sheesh, I don't know if family's got you restraining or what. I have no criminal record. Well, Cole, what part of the world are you from? Yeah, an extraordinary writ. It is there, David. That is, you're so right. Now, Parker, I have a case where I've been accused of medical and nutritional neglect because we tried to resolve a weight loss issue at home. I need to know more information. And Christina Reynoso would like to help you, Cruel. She comes to my room. She's from Las Vegas, Nevada. She's helping me, but she can help you too, Cruel. Kingman, Arizona. I don't get it. We set up that guy that got shot me. Bond is only 7,500 bond. I had changed with aggravated assault. My bond was 10,000 bond. Why is it not that Ricky Bond Solora when he shot? I don't know. I need to know a lot more details, Kingman. Crash gear. Mr. Pace, my wife and I have the most convoluted case ever. Not even against us. Started with the kids, then, well, not even sure what I can and cannot say. These people are just way out of control. Well, I assume you're talking about CPS. I have no idea what part of the world you're from, so I don't know what your case is or what's involved with your children. I do need more information. If you want to call on the show and talk to me, that would be great. That'd be great. Parker, they found cardiac and inflammatory pathologies raised the calorie intake from 20 to 27. Kingman says, me, oh yes, I did file. I'm in Massaposa County. Now for my appeal, I'm in contact with the member with Legal Shield. I need a bodyguard. Well, I can't help you there. I know they're available, but they cost money. Kingman also says, yeah, it needs a bodyguard. He repeated himself again. Well, if you need a bodyguard, they're going to require money. You get an unscrupulous one, and they're going to be danger for you. So you don't want those kind of bodyguards. Now, I have a half an hour left of my live stream, and I know that it started later than I anticipated, but I want you to have the full hour. Christina just wrote in chat, and she said she can help you. Just need to contact Christina Reynosa. Cruel. Just contact Christina Reynosa. You can email her. Okay. She offered her help, Cruel. It's above there. Scroll up, and I think she's using Facebook. And you won't see Facebook chats in here because you're in YouTube. So I'll put it up there, okay? There you go, Cruel. There you go. I'm sorry about that, Kingman. Who they pointed a gun at your son. How old was your son? Oh, he was only 13 months old. Why would they point a gun at an infant? You need to document everything and record it. It's really important. Oh, they shot you, the mother. Oh, wow. Now, why is the CPS carrying guns? They never carry guns. You must have met the sheriff or the police. Why would they shoot you there? Why would they shoot you? How do you authenticate? Well, you put a date stamp and a time stamp in your video, and you show a picture of who you're trying to record. Or you can do a continuous date and time stamp so they see it. That's how you can authenticate it. Does anybody want to call in and discuss their case further so I can help you? Thank you for the emojis. I love thumbs up. Thank you, Christina. I love hearts and I love smiley faces. Also, like the stars too. And please check below to follow me, or if you want to be notified when I'm on, check the notification button. Yeah, I have time. Go ahead, David. Go ahead and place the call. Glad to have you. Hello, this is Bob Pace with Fight CPS live stream. I'm sorry, this is who is this again? Oh, glad to meet you, David and Samantha. Now, I was thinking earlier what part of the world you're from, and that's why I see 805, so it must be Santa Barbara. Oh, San Luis Obispo County. Okay, um, that's really far north. I didn't know it was that bad, but anyway. So you're asking what the best route to go is, and about this writ, um, this Mandarandas writ. Is that what you're talking about? Mm-hmm. Now, what are you trying to solve there?
And they can't, right? And they just denied it, saying that there's no remedy since they PPR'd me.
Wait.
And so
How would they PPR you without? I'm confused. Why would you allow a TPR to go against you? Didn't you appeal it?
I just down and went through every single page of it. I think attorney was originally my children's attorney who has to be released from the case due to conflict with the parent.
So you hired. I'm confused now. Were these court appointed attorneys or public defenders? Right. Well, those aren't hired attorneys. You can't hire a court appointed. They're given to you sometimes at no cost, depending on your income. But CPS is very happy when you take a court appointed attorney because they get one for you, one for your spouse, one for each of your children, and they all work for CPS. Well, they're supposed to have different ones. Attorney
Yeah, they
cannot represent, not, they have to have different attorneys. There you go. You got technicality there because if you have an attorney, your attorney can't also defend your spouse or your children. Wow.
basically, due to the conflict of interest,
Mm-hmm.
she could do with CPS.
Well, you, when you got notice and you went to your first TPR hearing, did you try to fight it? Okay, what happened at the TPR hearing?
It was the base.
Oh boy, they can't do that. Can't do that. Well, they do that because they're interested in making money. It's illegally what they do. No one stops them because you have to understand the CPS entities don't have a board of directors or supervisors or anything that oversees them. They're allowed in every state, in every county to do what they please. Now, the only way you get back to the social circuit is when your case is closed, you can sue them. And you can sue millions of dollars against them for any damage they did to you. But most people can't wait or don't have the money to do a lawsuit because most attorneys will still charge. I know there's some talk that sometimes attorneys do it pro bono, meaning that, well, not pro bono, but they do it contingency, yeah. And so it is hard because you have to have your case over before you sue. But if they found you guilty and your TPR, what was the ground? Why did they terminate your rights to your children? What were the charges?
Because he was into urine and it came up positive for methamphetamine.
Oh
And
boy. Well, did they terminate your reunification rights or your medical and education rights? And why did they terminate that? Why did they terminate that? Weren't you guys taking parenting classes? You took some programs too. You took some programs. And did you demonstrate to the court? Did the attorney? I know you're using a court appointed attorney, but did the court appointed attorney, uh, you know, show that you did the completions? Are you still there, Samantha? Yeah, you're fading in and out. Are you close to the phone or you're in a bad area? Okay. All right.
even though they didn't even have jurisdiction. It was an 8-day even different.
Wow. Where was the child? Well, then she's in the CPS system. Wow. Have you gone back to the county that has jurisdiction over your child?
Yeah, jurisdictions over my date.
Where was the address? Was it in Kern County or was it in Santa Barbara County? So you never made it up to San Luis Obispo or made it back there? Wow. Now, did they take your child at birth? Hmm. It's very, very weird. I agree with you. Wow.
And Santa Barbara told me that they were in Kern County with the warrant that Kern County had, even though they didn't have a warrant.
Okay. So where you at the moment on your case? Where you at on the moment on your case?
With my baby, they've already adopted her.
Okay, I'm missing a lot of the pieces of the puzzle. That's probably why I'm having a hard time understanding it. What do you mean she's adopted out?
They,
Yeah, but how did that termination of rights happen? I mean, how do you let it go? Okay. Um, I don't know if this is going to resolve. We have about 10 minutes left of my live stream. And we may have to continue this on to this evening at 7 p.m. my time and see where you're from. You're from, oh, it's California, so it'll be 7 p.m. your time.
Okay.
Um, Let me see the rest of the troops in here. Kingman of Arizona, is there any more questions you have? Because I need to, get ready to close the live stream here. And Parker, any further comments or questions? And Cruel. And right now I have Samantha Bernard on the phone here. And who else we leaving out here? Talked about Kingman, Cruel, Crash Gear. Yeah, they have the most terrible cases. So everybody's cases like that. A lot of you ask the questions, then you disappear. So I'm trying to get answers to some of you. Oh, early on we had Colina Cole, maybe, and we had David, of course, at the very beginning. We had Kingsman, whose real name is Jessica. Okay. Um, I'm looking through my notes here with everybody. That's why there's a pause. So, would you like to be on my show tonight, Samantha? Do you want to call in, or do you want to be a guest? Yeah. Well, if you want to be a guest, all you have to do is write an email to Grace at vincentwdavis.com and tell them you want to be on tonight's show as a guest. And that way you're guaranteed you can talk and start right away. She'll give you a link to get on StreamYard. So that's tonight. Tell her that you want to be on Bob's Monday night show. Okay? And
Okay.
thank you. It'll start tonight at 7. So I look forward to having you on the show. And again, thank you for calling in. Okay. That was Samantha Beard. There's a very troubled case. Somehow her termination rights are, I mean, I don't understand all the rationality that's going on there. But it's really hard on her. These cases seem to get colluded and pulled apart, and promises made they're never kept. Um, Let me wrap this show up here. I'm looking through my notes here. I want to thank, I'm going to start from the top and work my way down in case anybody else says anything differently. I want to thank Michelle Renee Nadsmith for calling in, or not for calling in, for texting a message. Never knew where she's from, but anyway, welcome, Michelle. Kingsman from Kingsman, Arizona. Good mommy. Thank you very much. David and Samantha Bernard. Now, I just talked to Samantha Bernard, and they're up in San Luis Obispo County. And somehow they end up in Santa Barbara County. They're trying to, do a transfer there. Anyway, and we had Cruel. I wish you luck again. I'm pulling for you, Cruel. She's in Oxnard, California, and she's struggling. Of course, about that. Well, I'm going to have to tell her. Yep. Hi, Jessica Rivera. This is Bob Pace, the live stream of Vincent W. Davis. Yeah. What can? I'm sorry, what? Well, she says she's good money. Yeah. Right. Well, yeah, but the problem is you can call me, but my show is going to end in about 3 minutes. So I tell people now to call me at 7 p.m. my time. My show went over, but my show started late. I want everybody to have a full hour. Yeah. Right. What time is what place are you from? Another person from Arizona. Okay, well, glad to meet you. I've had several people from Arizona. Oh, you're from Kingman, Arizona, and you're the good mommy. All right, glad to meet you. Now that makes sense there. I do want to work with your case tonight when you call me back at 7 p.m. my time, which will be probably what? You're Mountain Time? Yeah, it might be 8 o'clock your time. Okay, then it's 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. All right. Well, thank you. I want to thank Cruel and best of luck to her. She has a case tomorrow that's going to be a tough one. And I don't want her to lose her home. And who else I want to thank? We thanked already Big. Yeah, they really have there. Anyway, God bless you all. And listen to a short message from my attorney when I sign off. Do not give up fighting for your children. Yeah, I know. Great to hear it. So listen to this message for Vincent. I'll see you tonight at 7 p.m.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted. And if you go against it, it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce them. This is Vincent Davis, defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the last ones left. Put your faith in